You can't do everything at once. That's what we're doing.
Let me decide that. This is very serious.
I found something.
You, well, yeah.
And it kind of reconcile.
A bit of fight sometimes, councillor.
Sharon coming to the meeting.
She probably is, she might be late, hasn't she?
Still 2 minutes to go.
Just a workshop. You came to the workshop.
There must be something wrong with this graph, so we need to look at our own
Yeah.
and know what this is. Names.
Right.
Public was recorded and
I think it's a couple of words for
last one.
Your nameplate's facing your way, which is good, see, in case you read your name.
But now I don't know who that is.
See, mine and Grant are as well, because we are often forgetting what our name is. That we got, no.
Can't support you on that one, Nicole, or remember what my name is. Keep taking the tablets though, they're working.
Yeah, when we start the meeting, so can you guys just, behave yourselves?
Oh, is that the kind of chair you're gonna be, is it?
No, he's not chair, I am.
Are you?
Yep, chairman.
Yeah, can you leave that turned on, please? I'm seriously, we're working with it on, so.
This should be Nicole, didn't realize that, sorry.
All right, we'll open the meeting and welcome everyone. We'll start with the opening karakia and then I'll do some work and stuff. So, whakatakaho ki te uru, whakatakaho ki te tonga, kia kini ki uta, kia taratara ki tai, ki aki ana te akakura, i tio, i huku, ti heri mori. So welcome everyone to the first economic development subcommittee meeting. It's a subcommittee meeting that's resulted from the economic development strategy. Of course, the strategy before we even met was Economic Development New Zealand gave it the Elite Award for an integrated strategy. So I'm going to pass to Sam, and Sam's going to say something about that, and then we'll get on to the main part of the meeting. Sam.
Thank you. Yeah, it was super to be able to go down to Dunedin what, a month ago now, and it was an awards ceremony for Economic Development New Zealand, and two things happened. Firstly, Claire Quirk was accredited This is accreditation for economic development, certifies that Claire Quirk has completed all papers and course requirements required to complete the accreditation for economic development at the end of October. And a number of these are, or no, only a handful of these were given out on the night. So you were acknowledged on the night, Claire, and we wanted to say well done on that. So can I say anything?
No, thank you very much.
And then there were a number of award categories on the evening, and we were one of the finalists there as well. So this was the best practice for integrated strategy, and we were the winner. So yeah, well done, Claire and Shay and the team involved around that for everything you've done for us. But yeah, big round of applause for you guys.
We're going to be doing.
Photo.
Yeah, it says today to photo.
Oh, you want me in the photo?
Photo option, yes.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
gonna take them.
Yeah.
Okay, this is here.
Okay.
Get that way, Phil. No, you're right. One more. Okay.
We're going to.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done. We're going to be talking a bit more about that award and everything later on. We'll start off. Well, welcome to the meeting. This is obviously based on the strategy we're going to be going ahead, and part of a lot of things that we're going to be doing around this table is spearheading how the economic development and the two associated strategies around investment and de-investment are going to be working as we go forward. Now, this committee is going to be something that's going to be it forms part of the tapestry of council. It's going to be something that's going to be going on for some time. The priorities are going to be set here, by a group similar to this going into the future. So we're in a really enviable position that we get to set the groundwork for how everything's going to be happening in the future. To that end, there are some few things that we need to catch up with. You know, we obviously what's our work plan going to look like? What's it going to smell like? It's going to taste like? And we're going to challenge ourselves to actually work about how we work with the reference group, and so that the industry themselves have a meaningful connection and with our strategies. And of course, ultimately, it will leave Selwyn District Council as the motivators and the enablers of development as much as they are the participants. So, and I know we've got some exciting things coming up. After our meeting this morning, we're also going to go into the workshop, and in the workshop, Tim's got a presentation there that he's going to present, and we're going to talk about some more things that Sharon wants to talk about. A few things she may even draw us a picture. I understand. Tim, anything you want to add before we move in?
No, maybe just welcome Rebecca Phillips, who's our new commercial manager. You've been here for 6 weeks. So not all of you met Rebecca. She's here to put a commercial lens over a lot of our processes, which has been a bit of a gap in our staff for a while. So yeah, big welcome to Rebecca. So she's going to be heavily involved in economic development strategy and also the investment strategic framework.
Great, excellent. Welcome.
Okay, we'll move on. Apologies, I've got Megan Mackay as the only person who's not here. So Megan's put in a meeting. Can I have someone to move that second that we accept Megan's apology? Sam and Nicole. Was in favour?
Aye.
Yes, carried. The identification of extraordinary business in that space. Conflicts of interest that we haven't already been registered. No. We have one report that we're going to be looking at today. Tim, over to you.
These are not procedural matters that we need to just tick off before we get any further. The first one is the election of the deputy chair. I don't know if any of you had some discussions around this, but
is there any? Well, I'd like to nominate Shane as the Councillor Pipiha as the deputy chair. So someone second that. Happy to do that. Thank you, Sam. Any? Want to say anything?
Yeah, thank you. Yep, happy to support that, and as a supporter of the Kaiokurika strategy from the start, I think it's fitting. So appreciate it. looking forward to working with Edinburgh.
Thanks, Shane. Right, all those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Okay, we need to approve our terms of reference. You've got the terms of reference there, and there are some changes, I believe, that need to be made to the terms of reference.
I can speak to that,
Thank you.
if that's okay. A, B, and C and D are primarily administrative in that they're either a title change where it's acknowledged that a group hasn't yet got the name which was given to it in the original terms of reference, and that there's some further references that needed to be included in the terms of reference. The one that I bring to your attention is perhaps E, which requires a bit more thinking, and that is that there is some additional responsibilities for opportunities that arise between meetings and a proposed process. There may be some discussion required.
Okay, yep. Okay, so A, B, and C are academic, just procedural things rather. D is the name, and E, so we'll focus on E. Any conversation around that content of E there?
Not around E, but it's something else I'd like to raise.
Yep. Well, we'll just stay with that E first. Grant, I'll get back to it, and if I don't, then you'll remind me. No? Okay, so we're happy with E as it is in? Okay. Grant?
Mr. Chair, how do you propose to deal with issues of confidentiality? The nature of this committee is likely to be that you might have proposals or things put for the committee which might be speculative or maybe an early stage development, which would be, if you're going to get people to commit to working with the council, they're going to have a degree of confidence that anything that's said here is confidential. I'm all for transparency, but how do we intend to manage that part of it? Is it through the terms of reference that we might be in and out of public excluded, or is there some more sophisticated way of doing that?
So
I would have thought, Grant, so for instance, the workshop later on will not be online. It's going to be taken off. And I imagine that a lot of our business will be conducted under public excluded, just because, as you say, the nature of it. I don't know if there's any other way of doing it really, other than.
Well, probably what I'm thinking about is being more deliberate with our when we release information, saying this information will be confidential until X or Y, then it will be released. So there's some timelines, and it doesn't just go into the ether.
And things like that. We may hear from lots of partners, potential partners, and there'll be lots of different timelines. So managing that will be part of Tim's and Tim's role. Does that allay your concerns around?
Well, I think it's just basic housekeeping. We just get that set from the start. How we're going to manage that, because there's a number of things that in the workshop agenda that you might go, well, actually, if you in the conversation flow that we have as this committee, we might come up with unique ideas that we don't want. For want of a better word, broadcast until they're actually feel more developed.
And actually, that's a good point too, is that while we are here and it's deliberately not in the council chamber, this is a much smaller table. It's designed for conversation, and all the lights are on all the time. There's only a few of us around the table, so I think we should be having more of a mixture of thoughts and ideas and everything like that. We need to have that as an opportunity for that more than we can afford around the council.
You've got to ask Councillor Reid not to bully me when the lights are on every time.
Well, she won't be able to because the lights are on. But yes, point note. Can you note that, Jim?
Just said one thing, Mr. Chair, was the terms of reference refer to it as a biannual, but I believe it looking at quarterly meetings.
Well, actually, I think we've actually, part of our terms of reference that we're about to talk about is initially it's probably going to be more frequently while we go through that setup phase. We were looking at probably 2 monthly, so 8 weekly initially, and then sort of and then phase it out, phase it back to probably quarterly as we go forward.
So we would like the agreement committee to have a subcommittee to have another meeting in December if possible. I'd like to get PwC and just a heads up about the investment strategic framework and some potential timelines, processes that we think about. I think that would be good to happen sooner rather than later. So focus on the strategic investment framework for December. I know everyone's busy, but we can fit it in now. There, I think would be most useful. That would be my preference, but I have to.
Yep, no, that makes sense. So is there any concerns about having that as a broad brushstroke on our immediate effect?
Once every 2 months, do you say?
Yeah, 2 months, yeah.
On the converse side of that, if we had a extreme work program, we could have shorter meeting spans
Yeah.
if there was a project. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
biggest downfall is that people want to progress things faster, can't because we have 2 months away from a meeting.
Yeah, that's right, and remaining nimble about that timeline is at that time frame is a good thing too. So, well noted, Grant. Okay, well let's deal with the first one too, which is approve the terms of reference. Can I have someone to move and second that? Shane and Sam. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. The next thing, item C, is the adoption of the council standing orders. They have literally just been copied over into our standing order framework. So can I have someone to move that?
I'll move C, D, and E in one motion. That's all. They're okay.
Second.
They're all procedural, aren't they?
The drafting schedule we've already dealt with. So C, yep, C and D, yep. So just C, yep, C, D, and E, yep. Thanks, Grant. It's seconded by Shane. Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. That is kind of where we sit, really. Is there anything you wanted to do before we move out of the committee meeting? Anything else from around the table? Okay, we'll move into, we'll do the closing karakia. Earn here. Thank you, everybody. While we go offline, we will pause for a moment, and then we'll start the workshop. Do we want to let Sharon know that we're starting the workshop?